Okay, well, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, East Coast folks. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'll kind of start to catch everybody up on where we are. First and foremost, if you look at our fundraising total, we had a huge bump in the last day. As I kind of mentioned on Monday that we were kind of waiting some corporate sponsors, and they very generous in their giving, and so MicroHealth and CPPI, so we're over 19,000 now in fundraising, so many thanks to those teams, and we're going to try to get them on as early as next week on Discord for some chit-chat and back and forth about kind of their story as service-disabled veterans. I know with MicroHealth for sure, and they support the veteran community, and they're great partners in work we do with them. So, and of course, CPPI is a construction partner, and they do great work as well, so thanks to them. So let me catch you all up. Since Monday, we had a pretty innocuous video session on Monday, and I had to make that decision when I told you I was making a decision when I got to Lordsburg about whether to continue. I got to the truck stop in Lordsburg and checked about every weather source I could find and on the winds, and they were all pointing from the west to east, and I was heading east, so they were forecasting gusts up over 40 miles an hour, but as long as they're in a direction of travel, that's fine. Crosswinds, I found, I had a brief crosswind coming into Lordsburg, and it just about blew me off the road just because of the bike and the trailer. So I knew a crosswind wasn't going to work, so I took kind of a risk decision, and the only way from Lordsburg to Las Cruces is via the interstate, which also doubles as US Highway 70, which, as I understand, that will allow cyclists because it's also a US highway, so cyclists can be on it. I was briefly mentioning on the video on Monday I was starting to see sandstorms kick up, and sure enough, as I was approaching the interstate, I was watching. There was a law enforcement officer at the exit there. I was chatting with him a little bit, and he said he was keeping an eye on it. The sandstorms kick up and can potentially reduce visibility to zero. And as I learned later, there was, I guess recently, 20-30 car pileup on that stretch of road because of sandstorms, no visibility, and kind of knocked the kind of really puts a a risk factor there. But that said, I felt safe enough to go. I was looking at the because of the crosswinds, I was looking right over the overpass, looking at the bike lane on the interstate, and it looked fine. It's kind of hard to see down to the left, but once I got on the interstate, almost immediately the surface deteriorated, and it was a combination of gravel, chip seal, and debris. And within less than 5 miles, I had my first flat. So I had to find a kind of an out-of-the-wind place to change a flat. Got back on the road, had another flat within 10 miles, front tire. Then I had another flat, and I only had one tube left. I managed to make it to a roadside truck, not a truck stop, but just kind of a roadside stop, and was able to ask them if they had any bike tubes. They didn't, of course. So I had one left, and you might ask, well, what about a patch kit? I have a patch kit, but the winds were blowing literally so much. When I turned my bike sideways, it almost blew me and the bike over. So I had to keep my bike pointed in the direction of the wind just to change the tire. Kind of had to hunker down off the side of the road. So got to my fourth flat with no spares, and thankfully there was an exit right there, so which is rare on that stretch of I-10. There's very few exits. So I got to exit 55, and the wind was blowing so hard I could hardly talk on the phone. I was able to call my wife, who's awesome. She saved my bacon. Called a tow truck to get me to Deming because I had no way. And literally 2 hours from sunset where I was, and the forecast temperatures were down to 28 with a 40-mile-an-hour wind. So the wind chill would have been in the teens. I just don't have that kind of equipment to be able to survive the night there. So thankfully the tow truck came to get me. Made it there. Of course, I'm on flat, so, and there's no bike shop in Deming. So, and there's no Uber. There's no taxi service in Deming. But there was a car service, and I was able to connect with, as it turns out, a service-disabled veteran-owned business owner who owns the car service, and he was able to transport me and my bike with two flats. Oh, by the way, the trailer had a flat too, and I was able to get to a bike shop in Las Cruces. We spent about an hour talking. I tell you this long story because I was able to connect with an amazing veteran who owns a business. He owns a car service. He's retired Air Force, and has, for an hour kind of told me firsthand the impact that COVID-19 has had on him and his business. And was just because he was a former veteran service officer, so he knew the community and the veteran community, and he was providing car service for veterans, shuttle service up to Albuquerque to the VA hospital, and was able to make a living that way. When COVID hit and the health care at the VA stopped, the veteran community felt very isolated. He, as a business, had to lay off 4 people and has one more hanging by the thread. He's the owner and he's driving. So substantial impacts in the veteran community out here, at least in New Mexico, with regard to COVID-19 and veteran-owned businesses. And we had a really nice chat. So I learned the rest of the story. I would never have met Reggie had it not been for the, I'll call my near-death experience, scared straight on I-10 Monday. So got to the bike shop Monday, and of course they found out told me right away. I got a PhD in these things out west called goat heads, which I guess are thorns from tumbleweeds in some way. And these goat heads just slice through tires and tubes like butter. And the debris, the 18-wheeler trucks with their steel-belted tires, they eject these kind kind of small, which look like little small staples, is the best way I can describe it. And they puncture right through your tire. So the bike shop changed my tires and put in these tubes that have what they call slime. And the slime, if you have any kind of flat or puncture with centrifugal force on the inside of the tube, the slime goes to the puncture site and creates a seal, almost like a plug. So they squared me away. As it turned out, I had to make 2 trips to the bike shop yesterday because in the melee of trying to change the tires, I lost a critical part of my shift cable underneath my bike. There's a little plastic cable guide that came flying off, so my cable was literally hanging, and I had maybe 2 gears max. And so I had to go back to the bike shop. I didn't notice it until I rode away. And then they've created a temporary solution for me because they didn't have that part. So I get here to El Paso today. The goal is to get that part. I've already called the bike shop. They indicated they have it, so that's good. And we'll kind of go from there. The goal is to make it to El Paso tonight at Fort Bliss Army Base, connect with some active duty officers there. Hopefully today, tomorrow, or I'm sorry, tomorrow for sure. There's some news media I think we're organizing as well. So it's I'd say I was scared straight Monday, so I'm still a little punchy today, just trying to get through today with minimal impact. And as I said, I've been riding about 3 hours. I got a taste of, and I gotta stop and kind of check out where I am here. I've been chit-chatting and thought I was navigating, but let me pull over. I think we're okay, but let me stop. Let me get my trailer out of the road. John, while I'm looking up the map, and I just disrupted my own monologue, what's on the okay, cool. Nice. Okay, cool. I'm wondering if I was supposed to turn back there at 183, but I could kind of make it up here, I think. 28. This is my day, folks, so bear with me. $20, 85, so was it 186? That would take me, it's 20. Somehow 20 turned into, somehow I got off at 28 and I'm on 20. What's that? Well, John's asked me if I took a wrong turn. I don't think I took a wrong turn. I just trying to figure out. I think I got off 28, which should have turned into. So I can ride down. Looks like I crossed over the Rio Grande, and I should have stayed on the other side. Let's see. Let me just backtrack a little bit and go back to the Rio Grande and ride down along there. I could ride 20 for a while and can ride 20 down to one of these other ones and I can cross over. It's not a super big deal. So let's do that until I see. I need you all to help me out until I kind of shoot it in my ear. If I see 183, 186, kind of need to get back. So I'll ride 20 for a while. That's south. That's no problem. I was on 28 chit-chatting and somehow I ended up here to 20. All good stuff. This is what resilience is all about. So anyway, all that story about Monday was just to be able to kind of tell you about Reggie and the connection with the veteran. So last night, after I got the bike fixed, I stayed in Las Cruces and was able to have dinner with a retired sergeant major from Puerto Rico. And like after about an hour, we were like best friends. It was awesome. So that just kind of tells you the great things about the veteran community and what that's like. And you know, you just make great connections. He was telling me about his story and his service and impact of COVID on veterans, and so just a tremendous I guess sideline, so to speak, on what was a harrowing day to connect with some people that were pretty special, which is kind of what this journey is about anyway. It's less about the bike ride, more about connecting with veterans. So now I'm caught up. I got a car pulling out, so I got to get to the left here a little bit. So John, I've lost track because I was awesome. So now I can triangulate. I've got 375 here. I think I'm a little bit north. East 20. Loop 375. Let me just pull up here on the little path here and get connected again. So 375, I had seen that earlier. You know, you can study these maps for hours and then you get out here and it's like, well, okay, so I'm there. What I need to figure out is which side of the river I'm on. Okay, I'm on the right side of the river. Okay, I'm actually right where I need to be. Good, so I can go down. I think I'm actually right on the right track here. Can go down to turn left. This takes me down to Country Club Road, so should be good to go. Yeah, I think I see the Rio Grande off to my right, or sorry, my left. So, see, I'm forcing you all to the resilience. We don't want it all polished. We don't want all these streams all polished up, make it look like Hollywood, because it ain't Hollywood out here, I can tell you that. It's a very exciting, very worthwhile journey, but it's why they call it IRL, in real life streaming. So, good, we're heading south then, which is kind of East 20, but no, I'm close to Texas. Have not, question on Texas, have not seen the sign yet. I think it's, of course, the Rio Grande, I believe, is right as the border. So we're kind of flip-flopping. If I cross over the Rio Grande, I believe I'm in Texas. And so I'm not in a hurry to get into Texas because that'll be potentially 28 days. I'm doing some risk management right now. I've started to look at the maps of East Texas again. And like today, the predominant winds are from the east, southeast. And those southeast winds are, when they're a headwind, if I'm heading southeast out of Del Rio, that drops my speed to about under 10 miles an hour, 5 to 8 miles an hour. And there are stretches on that West Texas that could potentially put me at those speeds several days between water stops. So I'm doing some risk management right now about kind of whether to continue through West Texas or take the Amtrak to Central Texas. So more to follow. I'm just trying to, I guess this winter here, talking to locals, has been pretty brutal, as you've kind of seen in the news. And the winds have been extraordinarily high. And if they come from the south-southeast, I'm kind of dead in the water. I wouldn't be able to gain any ground. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how it goes. Again, talking about business, we're up over $19,000 now, and so that's fantastic. Tremendous generosity. Really excited to have that level of support so far on the ride. Wounded Warrior Project has organized some media. I think we're going to have media tomorrow in El Paso, so we'll look forward to that. Oh wow, look, El Paso city limit. That must be in Texas. I didn't see a sign, but anyway, here I am. So we're potentially have media there, and then we'll, again, I'll try to meet with some active duty medical service corps officers that I know, and we'll make that risk decision here in the next couple of days. I'd planned to take a couple of days anyway in El Paso to kind of reset, so we'll kind of go with that and figure out what that looks like and make that decision in the next couple of days. Unless somebody wants to volunteer to come out and bring me water, then I can continue on, no problem. See, now we're getting that southeast wind, and I'm sure it's just coming through the microphone now. All right, John, what were you saying? Welcome to Texas. Yeah, 20 Texas. So, New Mexico is short, Texas is going to be long. Pretty cool. You can see, now I'm not even authorized to ride I-10 here because I guess it's so close to El Paso, they don't want cyclists on the interstate. John, how long have we been streaming? Okay, well, you all got to see me navigate, paper maps and all. Let's see. So as I already said, we're kind of, I got to make a risk decision, obviously for the safety reasons. I just saw a text from Howard. Howard, thank you. Thanks for joining. Howard is a former Navy pilot and former FedEx pilot, so he'll understand risk management. We want to be safe as we can. Well, I see a Circle K up on the left, John, so I think I'm going to wrap it up and get a refuel because I'm going to pop it into my GPS and head to that bike shop to see if I can get that part. And the traffic's starting to pick up, so I want to be mindful of safety while I'm riding. So sorry, John, I missed that. The wind was high. Can you say it again? John, you still there? I missed what you said. So today the end state's probably about 45, 50 as I'm turning into Circle K here. Tomorrow's a rest day. I'll be on Fort Bliss doing media and connecting with service members and stuff. So, and then after that, we're just going to decide what's next. So, here's how you do a Circle K. You got to figure out where you're going to park with a trailer, and you got to have the ramp because you can't go over the curb easily. So I just find a place off to the side, park everything. So we'll wrap it up, John. I'll get situated. Thanks everybody for joining today, and thanks for allowing me to be real with you. I would bust on Texas navigation, but I'm sure I'd be hearing about that later from my Texas Aggie spouse. So, yeah. Sorry, you're looking at a you're looking at a propane tank. So sorry about that. But we'll cut it here, John, and then I'll let everybody know kind of on social media when the next step is, when we can stream. I may stream from the hotel, just kind of give a wrap up and next decision point and that type thing. So we'll talk soon, everyone.